Welcome to CSUF, and congratulations to all of our Titan grads. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to California State University Fullerton's Commencement 2022. Graduate, then celebrate. Commencement is a formal academic ceremony, and all graduates are expected to participate until the conclusion. We ask that guests also wait until the ceremony ends to leave. Each graduate's name will be announced. Please refrain from causing distractions or loud disruptions that will prevent any of our graduates' names from being heard. Bullhorns, large signs, and beach balls are prohibited and may be confiscated, and disruptive guests will be asked to leave. Guests are not permitted in the graduate seating area. During the ceremony, please remain in your seats and keep all aisles and walkways clear. Guests taking photos or video must remain in guest seating, and again, please do not stand or block aisles. Professional photographers will be taking photos of each graduate as they cross the stage. Those photos will be made available to graduates after commencement. As a courtesy to those around you, please silence your mobile devices, and in the event of an emergency, please proceed to the safest and nearest exit and follow the instructions of safety personnel. Your cooperation today is much appreciated. At this time, we ask that the audience please take their seats. The ceremony will begin in approximately 5 minutes. Thank you for your attention. Welcome to CSUF, and congratulations to all of our Titan grads. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to California State University Fullerton's Commencement 2022. Graduate, then celebrate. Commencement is a formal academic ceremony, and all graduates are expected to participate until the conclusion. We ask that guests also wait until the ceremony ends to leave. Each graduate's name will be announced. Please refrain from causing distractions or loud disruptions that will prevent any of our graduates' names from being heard. Bullhorns, large signs, and beach balls are prohibited and may be confiscated, and disruptive guests will be asked to leave. Guests are not permitted in the graduate seating area. During the ceremony, please remain in your seats and keep all aisles and walkways clear. Guests taking photos or video must remain in guest seating, and again, please do not stand or block aisles. Professional photographers will be taking photos of each graduate as they cross the stage. Those photos will be made available to graduates after commencement. As a courtesy to those around you, please silence your mobile devices, and in the event of an emergency, please proceed to the safest and nearest exit and follow the instructions of safety personnel. Your cooperation today is much appreciated. At this time, we ask that the audience please take their seats. The ceremony will begin in approximately 5 minutes. Thank you for your attention. Welcome to CSUF, and congratulations to all of our Titan grads. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to California State University Fullerton's Commencement 2022. Graduate, then celebrate. Commencement is a formal academic ceremony, and all graduates are expected to participate until the conclusion. We ask that guests also wait until the ceremony ends to leave. Each graduate's name will be announced. Please refrain from causing distractions or loud disruptions that will prevent any of our graduates' names from being heard. Bullhorns, large signs, and beach balls are prohibited and may be confiscated, and disruptive guests will be asked to leave. Guests are not permitted in the graduate seating area. During the ceremony, please remain in your seats and keep all aisles and walkways clear. Guests taking photos or video must remain in guest seating, and again,
Please be seated. Good morning. Buenos días. I am Patricia Perez, Associate Dean for the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. It is my pleasure to welcome American Studies student Kaylee Hunn, who will provide a land acknowledgement to open our ceremony.
Miyu Yam. To those who don't know, this is a warm hello in my native language of Juaneño. My name is Kaylee Hunn, and I'm a Native American Indian, a part of the Juaneño Band of Mission Indians on Hoshiman Nation, graduating today with my fellow classmates of 2022. I'm here today to acknowledge the history of my Native American ancestors who lived and thrived on these very grounds. We are gathered here today on Native space that was part of the Kiz, Ahashiman, and Gabriano Tongva land. These three nations inhabited what is now Cal State Fullerton. They foraged for abalone and acorns, created homes of circular shelters made of branches, reeds, tall grass called quichas. They danced, raised families, and had a nation over 275,000 people. It is because of them that I'm grateful for blessing me with the opportunity to stand here today and graduate. Cal State Fullerton is located in the heart of bustling Southern California, and many find it hard to imagine that this was once native space. The connection to the space has not been forgotten or affected regardless of the evolving changes in times. When I was a little girl, my grandmother and grandfather, Happy and Cecilia Hunn, always made it apparent and important for me to honor the land that was once our ancestors. I'm excited to have my grandfather, who is the town patriarch of San Juan Capistrano, here today to help me celebrate this moment. My grandfather shared stories of him fishing and finding steelheads in his backyard and sharing them with his family and neighbors, just like the Ahashiman did. My grandmother shared her basket weaving with me after school. She took the land's vegetation of juncus and raffia to turn them into beautiful baskets that honor the land and our ancestors. Being a Native American Indian and going to school on land that was part of my ancestral history is a very special gift. And I'm truly honored to be able to share this gift with you all and hope you take part in honoring this space and time. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Titans.
Good morning.
My name is Dr. Cheryl Fontaine, and I am the Dean of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and I am so very happy to be welcoming you to the 2022 commencement ceremony for the Departments of African American Studies, Asian American Studies, American Studies, Chicana and Chicano Studies, English, Comparative Literature and Linguistics, Environmental Studies, History, and Sociology. I'd like to begin this morning by introducing to you our platform party. President of Cal State Fullerton, Fram Vergy. The Honorable Gary Vasquez. Associate Dean, Dr. Jessica Stern. Associate Dean, Dr. Patricia Perez. Chair of African American Studies, Dr. Siobhan Brooks. Chair of Asian American Studies, Dr. Eric Reyes. Chair of Chicana and Chicano Studies, Dr. Monica Hanna. Chair of Environmental Studies, Dr. Elaine Lewinick. Chair of American Studies, Dr. Terry Snyder. Chair of History, Dr. Yasmin Rostam Kolayi. Chair of English, Comparative Literature and Linguistics, Dr. Stephen Mexel. And Chair of Sociology, Dr. Berna Tor. To begin this commencement ceremony, I would like to offer gratitude and a gift. First, to the staff of the college, who listened to students' every question and every concern with remarkable patience and responded with the insight of your experience. You who are the engines who have kept our departments running through this time of in-person and virtual modalities, and who have been so central in creating this event today for our graduates, we are all extremely grateful. To the parents, friends, and family of our graduates, those with us here, those at home, and those whose absence we continue to grieve, please accept my gratitude for everything you have done for your students, for offering rides to campus, paying for increased internet speed, for helping to find resources to pay tuition fees and book fees, for being in the room to offer support through the dark moods of midterms and finals, and to share in the elation of a project well done or a paper well written. I'm grateful for your belief in the value of a college degree and your belief in the capability and promise of your students. I'm grateful that you entrusted us with their education. Faculty, I offer gratitude for your intellectual distinction and your intellectual generosity, for setting the bar high for students and then providing them with the academic support and emotional encouragement that they needed to clear that bar. You are true teachers, scholars. You are the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. And finally, to the students, I'm grateful for your intellectual curiosity, for your questions to which you expect answers, and the charitable spirit with which you listen. I'm grateful for your compassion and kindness to one another and to yourselves. I'm grateful for your impatience with what the world has offered you and your zeal to change what you don't like. You leave here today and enter tomorrow with the education and experiences of your degree programs. You take with you the skills and knowledge to make every moment more informed, more reflective, more inclusive, and more hopeful. And now my gifts to the graduates. First, I gift you the experience and success of the thousands of HSS alumni who have come before you. Today, those former students are changing the world. They are counselors, teachers, professors, business owners, city managers, lawyers, peace officers, mayors, members of Assembly and of Senate. We've heard stories from a former student who's a project manager at a major cable network and another who manages a company that ensures environmental sustainability. We celebrate the success of an alum who owns a culturally and historically focused bookshop and another who is CEO of a business that promotes initiatives related to social justice. And we've received amazing photos from halfway around the world sent by the HSS graduate who works as a research site manager at the South Pole. Like you, on the day they graduated, these alum could not have known exactly where life would lead them in 10 or 20 years. But also like you, they graduated with the academic knowledge, social awareness, cultural understanding, and personal drive that would carry them into their futures. Their success is your promise. Finally, I'd like to offer you the gift of silence, a few seconds to draw yourselves into your commencement day, to feel the presence of friends and family around you, to feel the breeze and the sunlight of this day, to hear the sounds that we can only hear in quiet spaces. I gift you a few seconds of silence to imprint the memory of this day in your hearts. Thank you. President Fram Verjee is the 6th president of Cal State Fullerton. As our chief executive officer, President Verjee provides leadership to over 4,000 educators with an inclusive shared governance environment. He oversees all aspects of university operations, from academic and administrative to finance and technology, in close collaboration with faculty, staff, students, alumni, and the extended Titan family. Prior to joining Cal State Fullerton, he served as Executive Vice Chancellor, General Counsel, and Secretary to the Board for the CSU system. And in his prior life, Fram was a partner in private practice for almost 30 years at O'Melveny & Myers, the oldest firm in Los Angeles and one of the largest in the nation. Please join me in welcoming President Virgie to the podium.
Thank you, Dean Fontaine. Thanks for that introduction. Good morning, College of Humanities and Social Science family. Really? I mean, come on, this is a celebration. Good morning, Titan family. Oh, that's better. I'm so excited to be with you today to welcome family and friends and supporters and anyone who's here in support of our graduates today. This morning is about celebrating you graduates and about celebrating your achievement. I love the energy, even though I know that a number of you are probably a little sleep deprived from finals and maybe some pre-commencement fun. Just think you actually get to rest after this. Not right now, not right now. I see you sleeping in the front row. Just wake up, it's gonna be fun. But before we get into the celebrating, I also want to say thank you to the class of 2022. You know, I started at Cal State Fullerton just a few months before you did. So you're my first commencement class with whom I spent all 4 years. Yeah, it kind of feels like I'm graduating with you. It's been a journey, right? Our first year together, we both kind of felt like fish out of water. Let's be honest, we're not sure where the bathroom is, where anything is, or where we're supposed to go. Our second year, we started getting our groove, and we felt like we were at home. We didn't get lost on campus anymore. We figured out scheduling and parking, well, maybe not parking. And then, just as we were hitting our stride, a tiny little thing called COVID came in spring semester. And that third year of campus, we were forced to shut down. And COVID ravaged through our families, through our cities, through our nation, through our world. And we were forced into a new normal. For many of you, that meant switching to Zoom for way longer than any of us predicted. It meant trying to find quiet places with actually reliable Wi-Fi, trying to study in the midst of a family at home or while they were asking you to do other things. And then right in the midst of COVID, we were faced simultaneously what I call confronting the true plague of our nation, institutional racism and discrimination bubbling up yet again. And we found ourselves speaking out, standing up, working to bring social justice and equity and inclusion. It was an incredibly rough time indeed. And yet, I think it's fair to say that no one of us is the same after it. I believe that every change in each of us, every change in each of you, that is what portends an amazing and bright future for our community, for our state, and for our world. Because the story doesn't end there, no way. Instead, your Cal State Fullerton story is here today where you are getting a degree and no one can ever take that away from you. And along the way, you've not just successfully endured some incredible hardships. You've actually turned those hardships. You've converted those hardships into remarkable achievement. And now it's time to look to your future, at the next step of your life, to contemplate what you will do, to bring dreams to reality, to be the change in the world that we need, to make this world a better place. So I am so glad. I feel blessed to be in person with you today because, as I said, things are not back to normal, and I don't know what normal is anymore. Let's face it, it's been a tough 2 years, to the point while you are thinking about your next big move, whether it's continuing your education, starting a new job, you might be feeling a little bit concerned, anxious, or even fearful. And to those of you who are feeling that way, I want to offer a few thoughts. First, you are not alone. Anyone who tells you that they're not anxious is not being honest with themselves or with you. Second, though, you do not need to despair. You are ready. You have refined your resilience and tenacity. You have mastered out-of-the-box thinking over the last 2 years and problem-solving skills over your time here. And while it's typical for any graduate to be a little bit anxious about the future, cut some slack. You guys have been through it. So be prepared for your next chapter. As you prepare for your next chapter, I'd like to share with you a few thoughts that I hope will provide you with some perspective, some positive perspective. The first perspective that I want to share with you is the importance of pursuing a mindset that allows you to determine and chart your own future. For it's in that mindset that you bring to bear in your future that you will determine what you're going to do. It's the way in which you're going to approach your life. It's the way in which you embrace challenges. It's the way in which you confront doubt. That is going to be the determiner of your future. Your mindset, your approach, your outlook, your perspective will mean the difference between defeat and success, the difference between I can and I can't, the difference between I will and I won't, the difference between I am and I am not. Now, what the heck am I talking about? Well, maybe the best way to do that is to explain it in a story. There once was a young boy who was sent home from school one day with a note from his teacher. He dutifully brought that note to his mom, and she opened it, and as she read it, she began to cry. And then she read that note to the little boy out loud. And she read, "Your son is too smart for this school. He is a genius. We do not have the tools and skills we need to teach him here. He will not reach his full potential here. You should homeschool him. Then he will reach his full potential." And from that day forward, that boy's mom homeschooled him every day. And that young boy grew into a man, and he grew into a powerful intellect with an exceptional mind. Now, many, many years later, that young boy, who was now a man, his mom passed away. And as he was going through his mother's papers, he found that same note. That note that he had brought home to mom so many years ago. And he opened it up, and he read it, and he too began to cry. You see, that note actually read, "Your son is mentally disturbed. He is not capable of learning. He will never learn and be self-sufficient. He creates too much of a disturbance for other students. You should keep him at home. He cannot come back to school. Please do not send him." That supposedly mentally disturbed student that the teachers were referring to, that was Thomas Edison. Arguably the most famous and prolific inventor of our time, a genius in his own right, a giant intellect. And we know now that Edison was actually almost completely deaf from a very young age, and he also suffered from ADHD. We also know, though, that he was a genius, and yet one has to wonder, if Edison's mother had spoke aloud those cruel and uncaring words that were in that letter into his mind, what effect would that have had? Had she done so, I don't believe we would be standing here crediting him for the invention of the light bulb and the phonograph and the motion picture camera. But instead, his mom, with the deepest caring and love, gave Thomas Edison a positive mindset. A mindset where he believed in himself, that he was positive about his capabilities and his future. Moral of the story, don't let anybody tell you you're not enough. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. You're not the right this or the right that. You make your destiny. You chart your future. You can do this. You are enough, each and every one of you. Your class of 2022 has persevered despite a pandemic. Through the trials, glimmers of hope have emerged as the best humanity has been illuminated in the darkest hours. And that humanity was you. That humanity is you. As Titans, you redoubled your commitment to eradicating systemic racism, to fighting for social justice for all. You spoke up. You spoke out. As the future leaders of our nation, you have already accomplished so much. And I have to tell you, I can't wait to see. I am so hopeful to see what you're going to do next. So don't be afraid to reach out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to stumble or even fall. Don't be afraid to make a mistake, for it's through trial and error, as they say, that change is made, that difference is made, that dreams are fulfilled. Before I close my time with you this morning, I want to share one more story. It's a story about an amazing American who died at the age of 102 just about a month ago. According to the LA Times, Johnny Jones Sr. was born on November 30th, 1919 in Laurel Hill, Louisiana. He was born on a former plantation where his parents were farming, but they were determined he would get an education, and he did. He graduated from Southern University. He was then drafted in the Army in 1942, where he became the Army's first black warrant officer. During the landing in Normandy, the ship he was on hit a mine, and he was blown from the second deck to the first, but that didn't stop him. After the war, more than 1 million black Americans were returning home as soldiers. And Johnny remembers. He remembers traveling home with all his fellow soldiers and having to move to the back of the bus to be separated from all those white soldiers that he had stood shoulder to shoulder with at Normandy as they crossed the Mason-Dixon line. Not long after returning from war, while traveling in Louisiana to get shrapnel removed from his neck, he was pulled over by a white officer and beaten for no reason other than the color of his skin. But he was undaunted. He was determined. He went and got a law degree. He defended participants and students arrested in sit-ins in the South protesting against segregation. His car was bombed twice. And yet he went and served in the Louisiana State Legislature, and he continued to practice law and working for equity and equality and inclusion and social justice until he was 93 years young. In 2020, the French government presented Johnny Jones with a Legion of Honor for his service during World War II. And it took 77 years for our own country to recognize him at the age of 101 when he finally received his Purple Heart for all the wounds he received in World War II. Why am I telling you this story other than to honor an amazing American? Well, Johnny Jones' story, it's a story of intentionality. It's a story of commitment. Despite the fiery furnace of injustice that surrounded him, he chose to use the racism that surrounded him to fuel his defense of the defenseless, the foundation to fight for change, for motivation to fight for justice. His story is a story of perseverance, of belief, of action. To you, my newly minted graduates, I say, that is where you stand today. This is where you stand. You too have overcome and are at the cusp of a journey to build community, to bring dreams to reality, to make social change. So here is my charge to you today. Your time at college has been all about discovering your mission and your purpose. But once you graduate, it's about putting that mission and mindset into action to make difference. A watching world needs you. It needs your own brand of giftedness, the giftedness that each and every one of you have. Your unpainted masterpiece, it just awaits painting. Your undiscovered invention, it waits to be designed. Your impending discovery, people are waiting for that cure. Your unwritten script is waiting to be written into the future. Your voice is demanding to be amplified in defense of the defenseless, to protect the unprotected. One final note, and I promise I will finish. As graduates, you are now forever embedded into the fabric of what we all call the Titan family. Given that legacy, I want to share with you some bragging rights, some facts about Cal State Fullerton that make it an amazing institution, different than any other institution in our nation. So did you know that Cal State Fullerton is the largest undergraduate university in California? But not just that, we are #1 in California for graduating women. We are #1 in California for graduating Latinx students. We are #1 in California for graduating underrepresented students. We are #3 in the nation for graduating students of color. And we are #3 in the nation for social mobility, for where our students go. That is a legacy. That is a legacy that you are part of. And now it's your turn to take on the world. But as you do, don't forget Cal State Fullerton. Come back. Visit us. Be a professor for a day. Give back to your alma mater when you're financially able, sure. But in the meantime, give the thing that's the most precious, your time. Attend some athletic events. Enjoy the College of the Arts. Wear your Titan gear. If you're brave enough, wear Titan socks. I have 40 pair of them. Any of you want extras? I got them. But whatever you decide to do, always remember that no matter where you go, your Titan degree goes with you. And again, no one can take that away from you. Cal State Fullerton will always be your home. Your fellow Titans will always be your family. And thank you so much. Because remember, it takes a Titan, and graduates, you are the Titans it takes. Congratulations to the class of 2022. And now I have an unparalleled honor today, an honor to confer this year's honorary doctorate. We're conferring an honorary doctorate on Ambassador Vasquez. Ambassador, will you join me at the lectern? Ambassador Gaddy Vasquez has a legacy of making significant contributions to humanity, efforts both as a public servant and within the private sector. He has spent his career in the service of others as a champion of diversity, a champion of equity and inclusion in government programs. He has a record of lifelong advocacy to eradicate world hunger, disease, and poverty, and has a commitment to equitable access for quality education. Ambassador Vasquez was the first Latinx person to be elected to serve on the Orange County Board of Supervisors. In 2002, he was appointed Director of the United States Peace Corps by President Bush, becoming the first Latinx person to ever serve in that post. In that position for 4 years, he established an agreement with Mexico to host volunteers and focused on recruiting students of color and community college graduates. At the conclusion of his service, he was confirmed as the United States Ambassador to United Nations agencies based in Rome. That included the World Food Hunger Program, food and agricultural organizations for the United Nations. And then, upon retirement from public sector, Ambassador Vasquez, he didn't forget his roots. He served as a Senior Vice President of Government Affairs for Edison International and for Southern California Edison, where, by the way, he was a fiery advocate for all California State University campuses, including Cal State Fullerton. Ambassador Vasquez has served on the President's Commission on White House Fellowships, the California Criminal Justice Council, the Board of National Association of Latinos Elected and Appointed Officials in Educational Fund. Other generous service committed by Ambassador Vasquez include the National Advisory Board for the Salvation Army, the Board of Trustees of Chapman University, and the Orangewood Children's Foundation Board. In addition to his extensive history of community and board work, he currently serves on the board of Project Concern International and the California State University Advisory Committee. And on a point of personal privilege, I also want to recognize Gaddy as being an amazing mentor for me, a close advisor, and he's become a dear friend to me and to Julie. And in recognition of all this service, this breadth of service, this professional accomplishment, the Board of Trustees of California State University and California State University Fullerton are proud to confer on Ambassador Vasquez the honorary degree of Doctorates of Law. Ambassador Vasquez, the podium is yours.
President Vergy, members of the faculty and staff, ladies and gentlemen, and graduates of the 2022 class. I consider it an extraordinary privilege to celebrate this day with you. You will go down in history as a graduating class of men and women who endured, persevered, and triumphed in the face of what sometimes seemed like insurmountable odds. But you are ready because you are Titans. Over the course of the past couple of years, we've learned much about ourselves and a great deal more about our nation. Even at my age, I continue to learn and gain insight and understanding about our increasingly complex world. But my hope today is that we take time to reflect on what matters in life and that we become greater champions for the things that we believe in, like working to shape a future where equality, inclusion, and diversity is celebrated and not exploited by those who seek to divide us. Like helping build access and opportunity so the less fortunate or disadvantaged have a fighting chance to overcome adversity and gain a foothold on a better future. But most of all, ladies and gentlemen, my hope is that we can be a nation where respect is at the core of everything we do, we say, and we think. History and personal accounts have taught us that our parents and their parents endured challenging and difficult times: war, civil unrest, economic depression, social conflicts, inequality, and much more. But we can learn from their experiences and shape our own resilience. For some of you here today, the journey leading to this moment began in a faraway place, leaving the land of your birth to pursue hopes and dreams in the United States of America. For others, the journey began not far from this campus, but seemed distant by what might have seemed like an unattainable educational goal. I can appreciate that. I stand before you here today as a descendant of a migrant farm-working family. I grew up in poverty-level conditions. I am the child of two parents who never graduated high school, but believed in the power and influence of education. They were insistent that we would not repeat their journey, and they were purposed in the belief that we would be the first generation of our family to break the cycle of poverty. Like many of you here today, I am the first in my family to earn a college degree. Congratulations. En este momento felicito y ofrezco mis felicidades a todos ustedes que son graduados en esta ocasión, en este día, y a los padres y los amigos, amistades que nos han apoyado durante este periodo de tiempo. Les deseo éxito, prosperidad y crecimiento en sus vidas y en sus carreras. I challenged myself, and I never allowed the voices of cynicism or doubt to overwhelm me. Graduates, I urge you to never fear the future. Shape it, make it your own, and never forget to give back and bring others along during your growth and your development. Dr. Martin Luther King once said, and I quote, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" End quote. You see, the men and women who've walked the halls and corridors of this university before you are shaping public policy. They are driving innovation. They are creating new technology, building businesses, and shaping a future that will keep our nation, state, and local communities strong and vibrant. It has been mentioned, Titans can be found in every sector of our society, and together are working to make the world a better place. Remember that the same sense of purpose and determination that got you to this day will sustain you in the future and carry you well in your journey ahead. Carl Sandburg, the great poet, journalist, biographer, once said, quote, "Time is the coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how it will be spent. Be careful lest you let others spend it for you, end quote. You are the owner and keeper of your time. You are here today because you chose to spend your time, or the currency of time, in an endeavor that will shape and impact your lives and life in a way that perhaps you can't see today. But I assure you, it will become clearer and more apparent as you apply the learning and education you've acquired at California State University, Fullerton. I am grateful and proud to stand with you on this day, and I urge you to dream big, think big, and do great things. We are Titans. Congratulations.
We'd now like to recognize our honors graduates. Outstanding scholastic achievements at the baccalaureate level are recognized by the awarding of honors. In recognition of their scholastic excellence, each graduate has been presented with a medallion. California State University Fullerton recognizes 3 levels of distinction. Summa cum laude undergraduate students achieved a grade point average of 3.9 or higher. Magna cum laude students achieved a grade point average of 3.75 to 3.89. Cum laude students achieved a grade point average of 3.5 to 3.74 in all university coursework. So, I invite all your honors to stand in mind, body, or spirit. Congratulations to all our honors graduates. We're very proud of you. Now, please be seated. And now we are going to begin the portion of the program where we hear from our student speakers. So I'd like to invite our first speaker to start coming to the stage, and I would like to introduce her. So our first student speaker is from the Department of Asian American Studies. She's graduating magna cum laude with her BA in Ethnic Studies with a concentration in Asian American Studies and a BA in Communications with a concentration in Journalism. She's been honored with the department's Craig and Clary Hara Award for Excellent Scholarship, Civic Engagement, and Community Service, as well as multiple awards for her reporting at the Daily Titan. Kim currently serves as an arts and culture contributing writer for The Voice of OC. So, please join me in welcoming Kim Pham.
Good morning, President Virgie, Dean Fontaine, and our Titan community. Congratulations to the graduates sitting in front of me. My name is Kim Pham, and I want to share with you how my education at Cal State Fullerton, specifically in Asian American Studies and Ethnic Studies, has motivated me since graduating at the end of fall 2021. Because this is a celebratory day, we won't talk about the job rejections, declining mental health, or the expectations of adulthood. Instead, I hope what you remember from these 3 minutes of profound wisdom is that we can no longer use ignorance as an excuse for not doing better. Short story long, I wrapped up my college career clicking the Leave Meeting button on Zoom, closing my laptop, and going back to sleep. My expectations for a glorious sprint across the finish line turned into a very slow and exhausting crawl in a race I thought I couldn't finish. As a procrastinator, I've learned that what's important isn't that I started the assignment an hour before it's due, but that I still turned it in on time. And as the first class to return to an in-person, large-scale commencement since 2019, congratulations. We did it just in time. While none of our experiences is identical, we all share the same perseverance it took to walk across this stage today. I don't know where you started, but I know none of you got here without struggling. The accomplishments we're celebrating today are that much more impressive in light of the ongoing pandemic, our nation's social injustices, and each of our own unique hardships. While privileged folks dealt with inconveniences during the pandemic, the problems faced by underserved communities became exacerbated. The pandemic highlighted how our governments and social systems fail to protect our most vulnerable populations during the most critical times. As we embark on our next chapter in life, we must start thinking about how we are going to use the privilege of our college education to leave the world better than we found it. Personally, having this education made me realize I couldn't keep living my life the way I did before, which was unaware. Before college, I never thought about why there was a time women couldn't vote, and that was normal. Before college, I didn't know there was a time people of Asian descent were considered unclean and unfit for US citizenship, and that was normal. Before college was a time when the opportunity to learn about my biased history books wasn't even an option, and that was normal. Yet in spite of those norms, I am standing at this podium as a female activist, a US citizen of Vietnamese descent, and the Department of Asian American Studies outstanding graduate. My education taught me that just because something was legal and normal did not mean it was right or set in stone. And just because we have won these battles in the past doesn't mean there are no more battles to be fought. The first step to addressing these challenges is to surrender our ignorance. If we can open our eyes and collectively acknowledge the inhumanity of each other's suffering, then I have hope that our generation can reform the unjust systems that impact marginalized communities today. So yes, we did it, but we are not done. Today, we come together to celebrate, and tomorrow, we'll come together to create change. In the process, I hope you'll find what motivates you and people who inspire you. But what do I know? I'm still searching for a job that will pay me more to use my degree than In-N-Out pays me to flip burgers. Speaking of which, I'd like to extend a thank you to my manager, Victoria Huang, and another special thank you to my professor, Jennifer Yi, for being the first Asian female role models in my life growing up. In closing, I hope you all remember that your lives are meant to be enjoyed, not endured. For those who didn't want us to succeed, for those who have succeeded us and will succeed us, for those who believed in our success, and most importantly, for ourselves, let's show the world exactly what better looks like. Thank you.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce the student speaker for the Department of Chicana and Chicano Studies, Maricela Dorado. She is the daughter of Mexican immigrants and a first-generation college student. She's really enjoyed her experience in Chicana, Chicano, Chicanx studies and hopes to pursue a career as a future educator. Please help me in welcoming Maricela.
I'm honored to be here with you all today as we finish our time here at Cal State Fullerton. Es un honor estar con todos ustedes hoy. Los pasados 2 años han sido difíciles. Our education system changed through the pandemic, and we were challenged with the task of carrying on. But what remained the same through all the uncertainty was the joy I felt being a part of the Chicana, Chicano, Chicanx Studies Department. Alegría. Esa palabra normalmente no está asociada con el Departamento de Estudios Chicana, Chicano, Chicanx. La mayoría del tiempo, los temas que discutimos pueden ser dolorosos y nos llenan de furia y tristeza. Nevertheless, talking about the segregation of brown children in the 40s, the Chicano movement in the 60s, and the Latinx immigration struggles in our present day allow us to shine light on our stories. There is joy in finding a space that allows us to openly speak about topics that affect and connect us in many ways. The Humanities Building has become representative of the space of belonging I found with the Chicana, Chicano, Chicanx Studies Department. While the Humanities Building has old white walls and windowless classrooms, the third floor is where I always stop to take a breath. Platicaba con mi familia de cuánto extrañaba estar en clase, y cuando al fin regresé, sentí consuelo y paz. Después de 1 año y medio en línea, pasando tiempos difíciles, quería regresar a un espacio que extrañaba, donde me sentía cómoda. As I pass room 322, I am filled with the joy of remembering the courses I've taken in that classroom, where in Ethnic Studies 101, I decided that finding my happiness meant changing majors from art to Chicana, Chicano, Chicanx Studies. It's a space where we have professors and faculty that support us as students and humans. Dr. Obando, Dr. Alvarez, and Dr. Woody are a few examples of the professors who have shown me patience and kindness as I navigate my academic journey through a pandemic. It has also been a place where I've connected with so many of you. En este espacio compartimos nuestras pasiones por los estudios Chicana, Chicano, Chicanx, la necesidad de justicia social y nuestro poder para causar cambio. En este espacio confiamos unos en otros, encontrando consuelo en nuestras situaciones similares. Esto es lo que me da alegría. This is what sparks my joy. These seemingly insignificant moments of understanding and connecting put a smile on my face, lift my spirit, and make me feel in community, proving that Chicana, Chicano, Chicanx Studies provides a space for us to be our whole selves, and that no small moment in community is insignificant. It's joy, es alegría. Soy orgullosa de ser chicana. Soy hija de inmigrantes mexicanos. Saludos a mi mamá Luciana Guerrero y a mi papá Zenaido Dorado que me acompañan hoy. Espero poder continuar contando las historias de nuestros antepasados. Me esforzaré por crear un cambio en el presente y miraré hacia el futuro que juntos podemos crear. I'm thankful to the friends and family who have supported me these past few years. I'm standing here today because you've shown me patience, kindness, and love. I'd like to share a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh that I first read last fall in Dr. Obando's Chick 367 course. When we have anger in us, we suffer. When we have discrimination in us, we suffer. When we have the complex of superiority, we suffer. When we have the complex of inferiority, we also suffer. So when we are capable of transforming these negative things in us, we are free and happiness is possible. I wanted to leave you with these words in the hope that Chicana, Chicano, Chicanx Studies has taught you how to transform negativity into joy, and that you continue to find joy wherever your journey may lead. Thank you.
Our next speaker is graduating with a Master's of Arts degree in American Studies with distinction. Recently, she served on the editorial board of the department's student-run journal, The American Papers, and has previously served as the co-editor-in-chief. Please join me in welcoming Michelle Okawa.
Scholar George Lipsitz once said, "I stumbled into American Studies the way most people do, by accident." For many of us here in American Studies, this quote resonates deeply. Some of us discovered American Studies while fulfilling a GE requirement. Many found an exciting course while browsing the catalog. I mean, who wouldn't want to take a course called American Monsters? And for others, like myself, we decided to try something new by jumping in from a different field. No matter how we stumbled into American Studies, it is the warmth and support from our faculty and our peers that has caught us along the way. And now, on this day of commencement, it is no accident that we are here. It was through our hard work, dedication, and resiliency, our struggles, but also our successes, that made it possible for us to be American Studies graduates. During my time here as a graduate student, I've had the pleasure of serving as a co-editor-in-chief of our department's student-run journal, The American Papers. I've twice served as a teaching assistant, delivering guest lectures on Japanese American beauty pageants and techno-Orientalism in popular culture. As I reflect on my time here, the first thing that comes to mind are not so much these achievements that look good on paper, but rather the incredible people that I have met along the way. My American Studies peers, the ones you see here sitting before you, have built and sustained a community, and I want to briefly highlight the incredible work that they have done. Last month, the American Studies Student Association organized a completely virtual week-long conference that offered students a space to present original work on incredibly personal topics. The American Papers editorial board spent the entire summer evaluating student submissions for publication. And just a few weeks ago, these students experienced the excitement of seeing their work in print for the very first time. All of this was accomplished by American Studies students, many of whom work full-time and also take care of family members, which was made all the more challenging during the pandemic. I am so proud to be an American Studies graduate, and I think I speak for all graduates when I say thank you to the department for welcoming us into a space where we could flex our academic and creative capabilities while being unapologetically ourselves. Thank you to our family and friends for supporting us throughout our academic journey. And to my fellow graduates, thank you for making American Studies a home where we could all learn and grow together. As we walk into a future of endless possibilities, let's spend today reflecting and celebrating our achievements. Congratulations to the class of 2022.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the student speaker from my home department, the Department of History, Janae Scott. Janae is graduating with a BA in History. She was president of the History Student Association and came to Cal State Fullerton from Victorville, California, where she graduated with an AA in History from Victorville Valley College.
Hello, everyone. Sorry. I hope everyone is having a somewhat smooth morning. My name is Janae Scott, and I am representing the History Department. When I first received the email saying that they wanted me to represent the History Department at commencement, I was shocked, flabbergasted, and very overwhelmed, so much that I did think about rejecting the offer. But I knew that if I did not take the opportunity, I would regret it later, and with that, I could proudly say that I'm completely honored to be representing the History Department up here, and being up here, and not only being the very first, and being up here, not only as one of the very few Black students who are able to speak at commencement, but also by pushing my comfort zone by speaking to so many people at once. Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, so my first semester at CSEF was very overwhelming. The new campus, new people, new professors, and on top of that, I had to move to Fullerton. Soon, the overwhelming feeling started to turn into excitement after I made some new friends at the transfer student orientation. My first semester here started off decent. I was going to class, doing my homework, and struggling how to figure out how to use Chicago-style citations. Then one morning, I had gotten an email saying that school was going to be closed for about 2 weeks. Okay, this whole thing should only last about 2 weeks, no longer, I thought to myself. Soon, I saw myself moving back to Victorville to attend a brand new university called Zoom University. This made me feel extremely isolated and alone. Luckily, I was able to make some more friends, some people that I remember seeing in my classes when school was still open. We worked together via Zoom, and what came out of it was a revitalized club called the History Student Association. This club is our literal child, and I'm so proud to see how far we have come. If anyone is interested, you could follow us on Instagram to find out more information. I started out as the vice chair, treasurer, and the ICC rep our first semester. And then on top of that, I had to deal with classes. And then on top of that, I had to deal with my personal life, since I was back at home, stuck in the house. Needless to say, the first semester of the club being official was very overwhelming. This club helped me and my friends who are part of the club to get closer to the history department and realize how much they supported us and really wanted us to thrive, not only as a club, but as individuals. Now, it's time for me to start thinking about the future and what I'm gonna do after I graduate. And let me tell y'all that I absolutely have no idea. But honestly, it's okay. And if you're just like me, just know that you're not alone. I wanted to take this time towards the end of my speech to thank my family, my friends, and my partner for the constant support and reassurance. Without y'all, I wouldn't know where I would be in life. Class of 2022, we did it. I hope y'all are able to think back and reflect on everything that you achieved and feel proud. And remember, it's okay to show off your accomplishments. Just like Maya Angelou said, all great achievements require time. Remember to be your biggest supporter, your biggest cheerleader. Thank y'all for listening, and to the class of 2022, congratulations.
Our concluding student speaker is Sophia Braceno. She is a first-generation sociology college student. She held the position of Interclub Council Representative for AKD Sociology Club for 2022 and is starting her Master's in Social Work at CSUF this coming fall.
Buenos días, familia y amigos. Good morning, family and friends. I am incredibly thankful and super humbled to be here speaking with you guys today. I'm thankful to Dr. Traylor for nominating me as the Department Speaker of Sociology this year. I also want to thank AKD Sociology Club for allowing me to grow as a leader, my friends for helping me navigate the world, and my family por siempre apoyándome en todo lo que hago. Los amo mucho. When I got asked to speak here today, I was in complete shock. I thought, why me? This doubt I had in myself made me come to terms with the fact that I suffer from imposter syndrome. I told myself to step back and reflect on my last couple years and how far I've come since my freshman year when I didn't even have a clue what major I wanted to pursue. I encourage you to step back and reflect on the last couple of years of your life and all that you overcome to get where you are today, graduation. For one, you graduated with your degree in unprecedented times, and there's so many more accomplishments that you harbor and may fail to recognize. As a first-generation Latina and college student, I can vouch that it's challenging to navigate a system that wasn't meant for me to succeed in. This is resilience. Many of you and I are breaking barriers and venturing into the unknown. We come from different backgrounds, life stories, and experiences that make us who we are. I grew up speaking Spanish at home, and it wasn't until I got to grade school that I learned English. I was raised in a predominantly white Californian suburb, middle class, and the education system, well, it's not always geared to help minority students thrive. During parent-teacher conferences in second grade, my teacher told my mom to stop speaking to me in Spanish at home as it was backtracking my progress in English. I never thought much about the situation when I was younger, but through my sociology education at CSUF, I have learned how institutions such as the education system can impact one's life tremendously. I am fortunate enough that this hurdle did not dramatically impact my life and did not silence my voice. It made my voice louder. Now I face the opposite problem. I have excelled in English, my Spanish is pretty good, but it's always being constantly corrected by my loved ones. My sociology professors at this institution have taught me the significance of being culturally competent in everything I do, and I hope society learns to do so as well. I am continuously grateful to my peers and educators for pushing me and engaging in thoughtful conversations with me throughout the last 4 years, because I sure do like to talk. The sociology department at CSUF is truly one of a kind. Keep fighting for the injustices that face our world daily, whether related to academia, systemic racism, LGBTQ+ rights, women's rights, mass shootings, because we demand change in policy, not thoughts and prayers. We need action now. I could be here all day listing everything wrong with the world, but I believe in us. Sorry, give me a second. Through our sociology education, we have learned and even lived the inequalities we have discussed. Not only will we have learned about these heart-wrenching subjects, many of us will work hands-on to create the change we want to see in the world. Good luck to each and every one of you. I know that there's a bright road ahead. I want to leave off with a quote by Nelson Mandela. It always seems impossible until it's done. Congratulations, class of 2022. Sí se puede.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Bernator, professor and chair of the Department of Sociology. In this moment of celebration, we also recognize that the last few years were marked by loss. And in February, we lost a student in our community, Michael Kruger. To his family and classmates, on behalf of the Sociology Department, we are so sorry for your loss. Michael was a senior majoring in sociology with a 3.9 GPA. His classmates appreciated his willingness to ask questions and share ideas. Michael didn't just enjoy studying sociology, he actively practiced sociology. Through his involvement with Project Rebound and its John Irwin House, he supported college students with an incarceration experience along their educational journeys. As an active member of the Health, Tech, and Society Lab, he drew on sociological theory and methods to study community experiences of COVID-19 in Southern California, and he presented this research at scholarly conferences. He was accepted to the CSU Fullerton Master's Degree Program in Education and Counseling. Michael believes strongly in the transformative power of public college education for individuals, families, and underserved communities. Michael's blending of scholarship, practice, and social justice is a reminder to us all that the point of sociology is not simply to interpret the world, but to change it. In overcoming his own personal struggles, Michael transformed not only his own life, but those of countless others. Please join me in celebrating his many accomplishments. May his memory be a blessing to us all. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Brady Heiner, Associate Professor of Philosophy and founder and Executive Director of Project Rebound at Cal State Fullerton, who will present the posthumous degree for Michael Kruger to his family.
Michael Kruger was a beloved member of the Project Rebound family. Project Rebound is a statewide program that supports the higher education and successful reintegration of people with an incarceration experience. Our programs support 600 students across the California State University and exchange 5,000 letters each year with people inside of prison. These letters are referred to by currently and formerly incarcerated people as lifelines, because they connect incarcerated people who are seeking the transformative power of higher education to community, possibility, hope, and life on the outside. While a student assistant with Project Rebound, Michael, with infectious dedication and joy, served as a lifeline to dozens, perhaps hundreds of aspiring students inside of prison, providing them with inspiration and academic advising to prepare them to take the first or next steps in their higher educational journey. Michael radiated gratitude, joy, love, and care. He supported his colleagues, classmates, housemates, and friends in everything they did. Always smiling, Michael truly made everyone around him know he was there for them without expecting anything in return. Though I desperately wish that Michael himself were here with his uplifting spirit to receive this honor that he so thoroughly deserved. I am honored to invite Michael's parents, Fred and Peggy Kruger, his brother, John, and sister-in-law, Megan, up to the stage to accept the degree on Michael's behalf.
Thank you. Michael was proud to be a Titan. We know how much it meant to him to be part of Cal State Fullerton and Project Rebound. Throughout his time at Fullerton, Michael formed relationships with other students, and he found mentors and counselors to guide him along his journey. He gave his all through outreach, activism, and work. He was happy to have made California and Cal State Fullerton his home. Michael will have a lasting impact on all who knew him. Michael's community involvement not only led him to touch the lives of countless others, more importantly, it was here at Cal State Fullerton that he finally was able to find himself. The honor of graduating today, summa cum laude, exemplifies Michael's personal best and reaffirms that Titans continuously raise the bar. In closing, we wish to thank CSU Fullerton President Fran Vergy, Dr. Brady Heiner, Chair of the Project Rebound Consortium, and the Department of Sociology for posthumously honoring our son Michael with his Bachelor of Arts degree in Sociology. Thank you for keeping his spirit and memory alive. You did it, Mike. We get to talk to you later. Thank you. Yes. Okay.
Now we begin the conferral of the academic degrees. Each department will be announced and recognized separately, beginning when appropriate with the awarding of graduate degrees. In recognition of their achievement of a master's degree, graduates and candidates are invested with the hood, symbolizing the completion of graduate work. The length of the hood to the middle of the back designates a master's degree. The hood color signifies the academic degree, and the satin lining of royal blue and white signifies Cal State University Fullerton colors. Let us begin with the candidates for a Bachelor of Arts in Asian American Studies.
Kim Pham. Jacqueline Ortiz.
The candidates for a Bachelor of Arts in African American Studies.
Malia Noble.
Chandra Brandanique Caldwell.
The candidates for Bachelor of Arts in Chicana and Chicano Studies.
Maricela Dorado. Danya Denise Corona.
Stephanie Galdames.
Erica Rubalcava.
Victoria Marisol Hernandez.
Alexis Monique Rodriguez.
Monica Flores Alviar. Stacy Delgado. Adriana F. Evaristo.
Alexis Varias.
Yanet Gamboa.
Vanessa J. Ramirez. George Rico. Stephanie Rivera.
Victor Miguel Cervantes.
Ashley Iniguez. Alicia Michelle Mojica. Elna Jarutakanakua Sakamoto.
The candidates for a Master of Science in Environmental Studies.
Natalie Carrillo Munoz. Myra Chavez.
Jace River Osterblad. Joel Martinez.
Hannah Batchelor.
Prasad Mahanama Galhena.
Christina Furio.
Avery Johannes Patterson.
Adrian Berrigan.
Michael Ventry. The candidates for a Master of Arts in American Studies.
Naja Almaz Shabaka.
Sydney Marie Francois.
Marisol Rivera Alatorre. Mario Murillo.
Michelle Lay. Raymond Anthony Gandera.
Christian R. Castillo.
Luis Quintanilla.
Curtis Hendrickson. Jonathan Garcia. Alfonso Javier Rosas Lagunas.
Michelle Miyoko Okawa.
The candidates for Bachelor of Arts degrees in American Studies.
Abraham Basilio. Gabriela Enriquez. Tracy Crystal Esquivel.
Jacob Lee Smith.
Paulina Michelle Alvarez.
Andre Wells. Yamilet Rangel. Andrew John Rodriguez II.
Jeremiah Cunahan.
Caitlin Marie Shortino. Alyssa Danielle Ackerman. Jesus Emmanuel Para Solis.
Kira Nicole Dawson.
Andrew Serrano.
Giselle Robledo.
Kathleen Megan Loretto. Vivian Rhea Garcia.
Andrew Alex Bermudez.
Joanna Alejandrina Venegas.
Cassidy Flores. Catalina Curran.
Erica Cecilia Orozco.
Emma Anderson.
Darius James Johari.
Ana Cecilia Aguilar. Angelica Julia Corns.
Alfredo Lopez.
Tiana Sanders.
Ashley E. Bordy. Caitlin Tuliauchu.
Isa Violet Martinez.
Esteban Pablo Lopez.
Jared Manuel Cuica.
Emilia Gassoni Gaskell.
The candidates for a Master of Arts in History.
Elizabeth Beltran Lemus.
Corinne Peischer.
Kayla Cummings.
Scotty Marshall Coyne. Emmanuel Ayala.
Christopher Gonzalez.
Drew Takeo Okino.
Leela Raquel Hatcher.
Emily Nicole Ortiz.
Zoe Hefkin.
Kana Bernal.
Dominique Guerrero.
Mariano Bruno.
Nicole Hollenbeck.
Stephen Anthony Mang.
It'll look worse if I try to do something with it.
Clay Dylan Kenworthy.
Michael Alexander Conti.
Desiree Yvette Montes.
The candidates for Bachelor of Arts in History:
Riley Nicole Miller.
Brandy Altoona.
David De Jesus Jimenez.
Jose Alonso Rivera. Alexander Garrett Paul. Jasmine Martinez. Melissa Martinez.
Kaylee Michelle Jennyjohn.
Ariana Andaya.
David Patrick Madigan.
Portia Berami.
Azi Rubalcava.
Luke Coleman.
Julia Ferret Lapasso.
Anthony Maldonado.
Sarah Beth Johnson.
Muhammad Ali Biur. Odette Castillo.
Allison Denora Serrano.
Catherine Kelly Rose Caniglio.
Isabel Marie Valdez.
Christina Bokuski. Celeste Alvarez. Nancy Arellano.
Alberto Hernandez.
Brianna Gabrielle Abbott.
Janae Elise Scott. Vladimir Lenin Torones. Lizette Reynoso.
Samantha Joan Foley.
Larry Zuviaga. Diego Rojas. Jacob Romero. Cesar Gustavo Soto Hernandez.
Brandon Joseph Dahman.
Aaron Kayola Gazip.
Ryan Broadwater.
Cole Novak.
El Cha.
James Marshall Novak.
Daniel de Guzman.
Armin Kalajan.
Andrea Mercado. Alan Edward Mercado.
Mackenzie Davis. Mark Daniel Avesilla.
Emmanuel Noah Ramirez. Kevin Rangel.
Amelia Grace Fee.
I'll ask her if she wants. Is it
Kaylin Newbold.
No.
Patrick McDonnell.
Okay.
Jonathan Cabañas.
Is she an American Studies major? Do you want me to go find her?
Thomas Michael Polito.
Okay, Amelia?
Martha Zamora Esprillo.
Andres Jimenez.
Summerlee Vasquez Contreras. Nolan Antonio Yokogawa.
American Studies.
Apolinar Herrera.
I can do it.
Shadi Porshirazi.
Julia Victoria Cody. Christian Ryan Fuentes.
Michael Anthony Ward.
Chenling Gray.
Christina Nicole Melton.
Christian Baca.
Matthew Lagman. Maria Guadalupe Godinez.
Rosalva Barrios Perez. Marbella Valeriano Garcia.
Ryan DiMaggio Lavelle.
Dakota Batwing Vasco.
Brandon Angel Bernal Sanchez.
The candidates for Master of Arts in Linguistics.
Ehiro Emmanuel Esiri.
Joseph Ryan Lane Coakley.
Taline Danielle Miller.
Melissa Facundo Moreno.
Young Lu. Jia Li. Gabrielle Leandro.
The candidates for Bachelor of Arts in Linguistics.
Miguel Flores.
Nothing gets right.
Crystal Luna.
She's coming up. Oh, so Amelia's handling it from
Amy Min Din. Eileen Vianney Celaya Alvarez.
Roger Hunter Jr.
The candidates for Master of Arts in English.
Sam Drake. Sarah Ann Epp. Cody Acevedo. Daniela Araiza. Atiana Isel Casillas.
Kadra Zirawali.
Taryn Bangi. Jacqueline Duran.
Sophia O'Brien.
Kaylee Hun.
Martha Elena Ceja. Matthew Chow.
Juan Padilla.
Christina O'Keefe Canalita. Tierney Diaz.
The candidates for Bachelor of Arts in English and Comparative Literature.
Krish John Galez Padua.
Rigoberto Ruiz Ceja.
Ranela May Sunga.
Joshua Blair.
Michaela Dolores Riley. Anthony Uriel Villanueva Ramirez. Sofia Robles. Jade Poling. Andrew Mayorga.
Madison Josephine Hill.
Justice James Esquire.
Nicole Hamilton.
Samara Sitlali Barragan Velasco.
Robert D. Rojas.
Jose Luis Gonzalez.
Amber Danielle Orbaugh.
Marie Alexis Lucero.
Kyle Schoenberger.
Jordan Lucille Hanlon.
Rachel Ray Turpening.
Cami M. Eilers.
Susana Sasweta. Iman Pisetsky. Olivia Ship. Randy Tejeda. Adolfo Plazola. Sonali D. Vias.
Annabella Eritano.
Sierra Pactua. Jamie Duchesne Manahan. Yesenia Trujillo.
Daisy Viviana Flores. Alyssa Arache.
Zane Toledo.
Paige Sanabryce. Ollie Martinez. Heidi Lee Richardson.
Audrey E. Lee. Rafael Alfredo Galvez.
Eric Daniel Mercado.
Alejandra Guadalupe Camacho. Kimberly Jasmine Bustamante.
Eileen Alejandra Lopez.
Viviana Pintor. Abril Rodriguez. Victoria Patricia Santillan. Angelina Ross. Brooke Wesley McCauley. Yesenia Morales.
Jeff Jonathan Diaz. Brian Dangdui Chu.
Isaac Rico.
Caitlin Soria Kiang.
Charlene Morantine.
Stephanie Hasso.
Jenna Carey.
Ashley Nicole Kovaleski.
Yara Marquez de la Torre.
Cheryl Ronke Kronsberg. Roberto Lopez.
Carolyn Stutzman.
Kimberly Jacome.
Tammy Ba-An Nguyen. Kylie Murakami. Alyssa Mata.
Cindy Cazales.
Ethna Onchi Rincon.
Yareli Lepe. Sharon Lynn. Vincent Anthony Gomez.
Jesse Payton. Sochil Irene Mata Abad.
Abigail Lerner.
Katie Anderson.
Emily Nguyen. Christiane Reyes. Sheila Yim.
Jessica Bernal. Alexis Jasmine Dockery.
Amy Tien Nguyen. Nicholas Ramirez.
Sarai Leslie Avila. Kayla Betts.
Daisy Godoy.
Taylor Ann O'Reilly.
Kinsey Schiffer.
Aya Al-Sayed.
Amanda Christine Pitts.
Alicia Amanda Galvez.
Alexis de Jesus Zelaya. Alexa Mejia.
Ashley Fragoso.
Uriel Guerrero.
Victoria Marie Almazan.
Haley Diana Tillett. Kelly Ray Rocha. Jennifer Martinez.
Caden Stanis.
Rafael Sebastian Amador.
Nikita Nunez.
Kiana Sanchez.
Marcos Cardona. Ariel Alvarez Bautista. Todd Bowser. Kelsey Marie Ashton.
Nina Janae Richards. Dionisia Rosanna Maldonado. Michelle Mendoza.
Magdalena Maria Fuentes. Lance Lamar Goodman Jr.
Skylar Jade Sorensen.
Kirola Syed.
Tori Lee Venegas.
Cariana Crisona. Maria Estefany Gonzalez Garcia. Diana Giselle Gonzalez Garcia.
Max Ruchka. Mia Kasiku Taor.
Joseph Nicholas Hartnett.
Joanna Gabriela Vasquez.
Karen Garcia. Alexis Perez Lozano.
Joanna Chavez. Gemma Alvarez Esquivel.
The candidates for Master of Arts in Sociology.
Christian Ivan de los Santos.
William Ryan Green.
Aspen Amber K. Dyer. Bailey Nicole Blankenmeyer.
Ashley Lowry.
Eric Luis Arroyo.
Anissa Kailani Perez.
Elise Dang. Esther Kareem Castro.
Guadalupe Sanchez.
Grace Miriam Cordero. Maritza Barrios.
Rafaela Mejia. Ana Laura Morales.
Ashley Cervantes.
Daisy Medina. Paula Ruiz. Evelyn Velasco Luna.
Dania Cortez. Sofia Estrella Briseño.
Carrie Lee Gatos.
Vanessa Rodriguez. Leticia Reyes.
Kelly Guadalupe Laurian. Brianna Suyin Juarez. Ernesta Herrera.
Daniela Ruiz Vasquez.
Desiree Monique Diaz.
Patricia Garcia.
Guadalupe Angelica Sanchez.
Jennifer Duque. Tiona Darjania.
Shannon Michelle Lance.
Sarah Faith Enzinger. Nora Ceballos Hernandez.
Giselle Victoria Gonzalez.
Ashley Cazares.
Adriana Lisbeth Sanchez.
Axel Cano.
Samuel Frederick Noija. Michelle Vang.
Brenda Hernandez.
Emily Nava. Kimberly Can Pham. Maria Teresa Valentin.
Joanna Enriquez Juarez.
Marlene Galaxy Leva.
Rosa Maria Estrada.
Ashley Mucino. John Wyatt.
Miguel Angel Arredondo.
Jasmine Elizabeth Martinez. Hien Tran. Todd Martinez.
Sophia Patricia Lester.
Haley Ann Chapuzio. Iman Al-Quraini. Sylvia Basurdo.
Adelie Gamboa. Dulce Caroline Garcia.
Luis de la Riva.
Brittany Marie Johnson. Evangeline Leno.
Shelby Corral. Amanda Maganini.
Stephen Montejano.
Catherine Lisbeth Becerra. Saul Bernardino Perez.
Jacqueline Mena Garcia.
Brian Alexander Garcia.
Sierra Angeline Montenegro.
Ursula Marie Gonzalez.
Sachini Amanda Rajapakshar.
Laura Christine Cram.
Christy Owens. Loretto Zermeño. Anthony Victor Pantoja.
Dimitri Edward Lopez. Connor Grevin.
Ida Ye. Maria Churape. Carmen Danielle Ruiz. Eileen Ruby Rivas. Yesenia Nava. Janet Guadalupe Roman.
Terry Karen Goodman.
Miranda Rose Perez. Jessica Serrano. Nicole Ann Van Bahoda. Sarah Seagal.
Jasmine Guzman. Alexis Garcia.
Alondra Rayo.
Allison Helen Brown.
Luisa Maricela Huitron.
Kelly Rose Meadows. Lillian Josephine Schweigofer. Emily Lauren Sherlock.
Suraj Chand. Alondra Brianni Chavez. Caitlin Hope Irwin.
Carla Garcia Garcia.
Allison Munoz.
Joshua Michael Literis.
Michael Anthony Banuelos. Roxanne Fino.
Serena Valle.
Sarah Hassan. Luis David Gutierrez.
Karen Guadalupe Mendez. Jessica Mary Molina. Odalis Natalie Rodriguez Alcina. Brenda Fernandez Mejia. Fariha Marzan Mostafa.
Leslie Ruby Guzman Ramirez.
Elise Cunanan. Cecilia Renee de la Lastra.
Danielle Fasana.
Jasmine Troncoso.
Megan Joy Aronson.
Jesus Quevedo. Carla Dominguez.
Madison Wolf.
Rebecca Barcelo.
Stephanie Lisette Garcia. Madison Harmon.
Allison Lee Bebo.
Luis Antonio Paez.
Amanda Hilton Chamberlain.
Gwyneth Olivia Truman.
Roberto Baez Jr.
Mark Taylor Rakidan Rakipiso. Rachel R. Vaughn. Troy Rechtenwald.
Lizette Guadalupe Del Real. Twig Duong.
Wendy Ruby Velasquez.
Hugo Casarubias.
Andres Hernandez.
Oscar Emmanuel Martinez.
Emanuel Gomez Bojorquez. Nina Pilar Jimenez.
Denise Sabrina Medina.
Sabrine Diab.
Denise Moran. Esther Elena Navarro.
Caitlin Medina.
Anna Tran.
Michelle Diane Bemmer.
Brendan Patrick Houlihan.
Emily Lisbeth Cruz.
Danielle Quintero.
Cindy S. Cabral,
Monique Olivia Menchaca,
Edith Bernardino Vasquez,
Andreas Lamboy,
Stephanie Reyes,
Danielle Cervantes, Raquel Castillo, Leilani Ria Apayor Abdan,
Alicia Eileen Murray, Patricia Borbon Valenzuela,
Aiden Bevan Hively, Joanna Arlenia Mezqua, Cassandra Victoria Serta, Sarah Anderson, Vincent Adrian Cortez,
Joanna Ramos,
Jessica May Dasa,
Lixia Zhang,
Sydney Ashner,
Vincent Michael Bakari Lee, Evelyn Gonzalez,
Alejandra Rios, Miguel Angel Sanchez,
Zach Buchanan,
Alexia Esparza, Janet Abigail Arue,
Cristal Rendon, Monica Pacheco, Davina D. McKnight, Jennifer Estrada Munoz,
Roxana Herrera, Danielle Lee Conderu,
Yvette Martinez,
Brooke Isabella Erkman,
Sarah Lynn Brubaker,
Oscar Daniel Ortiz Lopez, Melissa Mijares, Desiree Mijares, Carla Paniagua, Sandra Amabel Nunez,
Jacqueline Jimenez Bruno, Stephanie Gomez, Arisbeth Garcia,
Erica Reyes, Stephen James Macias, Olga Elena Martinez, Leslie Nicole Valle, Crystal Marie Rodriguez, Michelle Zaragoza, Tina Quinn Trong,
Brittany Nicole Alicea,
Areli Noemi Samano,
Cristalina Acevedo,
Emily Therese Gutierrez,
Michael Alfonte,
Rolando Josue Torres, Brian Shenas,
Alan Jacob Kennedy, Samuel Gomez,
Omar Veloz, Emily Marie Murillo.
Lilia Loera. Claudia Galvan.
Alyssa Valdez.
Brenna Lynn Bakey.
Cosette Kim.
Zai Medina.
Isyong Cha. Dayanara Favela.
Angel Torres. Giovanni Jesus Pichardo. Zabdi Eliana Meza Moreno.
Genesis Giselle Garcia.
Mei Li Ung.
Courtney Ann Flowers.
Dominic Edward Weezar.
Alana Cantu.
Michelle Marie Monette. Kenya Overa. Lynette Vartanian. Carolina Mesa.
Kylie Delina Gomez.
Brenda Vanegas.
Armando Caldera.
Lori Jane Janilo. Ian Douglas Kent.
Kimberly Nicole Corona.
Felicia Annabella Salas.
Crystal Marianne Aguilar.
Gabby Pantaleon. Zabdi Eliana Meza Moreno. Maricruz Sida. Kayla Danae Stidger. Maricruz Sida. Eldon Quintan Pamplona.
Oriana Kiara Faauli Lainez.
Michael Anthony Ruiz.
Destiny Duarte.
Madison Elizabeth Sams.
Tilly Emily Cortez.
Brianna Poma.
Mike Trong Lee.
Eduardo Ornelas.
Felicia Contreras.
Gabriel Charles Ponce. Henry Jose Sampson Pais.
Shaylin Graves.
Nu Trang Dinh.
Maria Fernanda Roque.
Kennedy Carol Lopez.
Noreli Fernanda Macias.
Nancy Gonzalez. Nelitza Gutierrez. Jada Marie Gutierrez.
Lucina Amber Epstein. Valerie Alyssa Abarca. Consuelo Carla Bruno.
Justin Neem.
Ronique Bean.
Andrea Lisbeth Valdivia.
Stephanie Garcia Sanchez.
Angie Michelle Echeverria.
Myra Ochoa. Shantae Rice. Terry Moore.
Tony Flores.
Geneva Nguyen. Serena Misiida. Vanessa Guadalupe Rodriguez.
Crystal Isabel Banuelos.
Brianna Deidre Morris.
Yanet Augustine Robles.
Monica Hernandez.
Serena Jordan.
Morgan McCauley.
Hunter Nicole Ford. Whitney Michelle Abmalik.
Sandra Bethania Perez.
Karina Michelle Lopez.
Daisy Rosillo. Darlissa Suhey Vasquez.
Andrew Coalien.
I'd like to invite President Fran Vergy to the center podium for the conferral of degrees.
All right, are you ready? Are you ready? Will the class of 2022 please stand? By the authority vested in me by the state of California and by the trustees of the California State University, I hereby declare and confer upon you the degree for which you are qualified, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and honors pertaining thereto. Now it's time. It's time for the traditional move of the tassel. Graduates, please move your tassel from the right to the left. Valued family, friends, I present the graduates of the California State University Fullerton class of 2022. Congratulations!
Graduates! Graduates, do you hear that? Graduates! On behalf of the college, I commend and congratulate you on your achievements. We would ask, please, that our guests remain seated until the platform party, followed by the faculty and the students, have completed the recessional. And now it's my pleasure to announce that the commencement exercise of the graduating class of 2022 of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences is now concluded.